Meal planning is the absolute worst thing that I have to do as a mom and wife, but today I'm going to show you how to create a year-long meal plan to make it super easy for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to Heartway Farms. My name is Annie, and if you're new here, my husband and I, we live on a homestead in Illinois raising our 6 kids. We homeschool, homestead, do all of the things. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe. We would love to have you as a part of the Heartway Farms family. So we have been meal planning and preparing and grocery shopping, all these things for years and years. And because I homeschool my kids, and I always have, I have had to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 18 years. So it never stops. You know, you always have to eat, you always have to come up with a meal plan, and it gets daunting. I remember seeing a meme once that like, who would have thought that the hardest thing about adulting is meal planning? And I can relate with that so much because you're constantly trying to come up with new ideas, not repeat all the time, simple ingredients, things that you keep in your stockpile, your pantry, and also not spending a fortune at the grocery store. So I have sat down and I have created a bunch of materials for all of you to help you out and to help me out so that meal planning is not so much of a challenge. And before I go too much further, I want to make sure and tell you that we are so excited and have officially released our 3 digital cookbooks, Everyday Breads, Gourmet Desserts, and Chicken Made Easy. Not only are these simple, beautiful, printable digital copies of our cookbooks, they will make meal planning and baking from scratch at home and all of these things easy and simple, and you're not gonna wanna miss it. So make sure you check that out below when this video is all done. And also, don't forget to check out heartwayfarms.com. The girls are making beautiful, amazing products from natural skincare items and hand painted cards that are beautiful. The holidays are coming up, and this is a perfect gift idea for everyone in your household, so go check that out too. So the idea of planning a whole year's worth of meals can be super overwhelming, but let's simplify it. I'm building out a month-long meal plan that you just can replicate if you want to. If you want to keep it super streamlined and easy, you can just repeat the month of meals for 12 months in a row. I mean, I know that we for sure eat tacos once a month. It's no big deal. That's totally normal. In fact, probably more than once a month. So it's not that unheard of to create your monthly meal plan and then just replicate it. But with my system, you don't have to do that either. You can make it way more fun than that if you want. You can make every month different and break it down however you would like to do that. So let's start with step 1, creating our different idea menus. So when you're first starting out creating this meal plan, you need to break it into categories. Otherwise, it's just super overwhelming. So I have created a breakfast menu, a lunch menu, and a dinner menu. Now these are all just ideas so that you can easily pull from and you can easily add to or take away. If you're like, okay, we are so over this recipe, we're not gonna make it for a whole year, take it off of that list. And so when I'm creating my different lists, and just so you know, you guys are gonna want to check out all of the links down below, all of the free printables that we have, all of the cookbooks that we have, so like you can create your own. You don't have to use my ideas. Or if you're like, hey, I wanna use all of the ideas that Annie uses for her family, you can have these for free, okay? There's some things that you can purchase, but a lot of these resources are free and they print beautifully. They have turned out so beautiful. If you have a color printer or a location where you can go print something easily, then these turn out so nice. You can put them in a binder and keep them safe and just use them forever. So it's a wonderful tool to have in your tool belt when it comes to meal planning. So for example, when I'm building out my breakfast menu, I've separated it into categories like eggs. And this is important to do because it's gonna come into play later when we create our weekly meal plan and when we create our monthly meal plan. I have it broken down to continue to build it out and make it simple. So when I'm looking for breakfast ideas, I have separated it into categories, and you can come up with your own categories. If you have allergies or if you have, you can't do gluten in your family, then you need to, create your own categories that are pertinent to your family and your situation. But for us, like I have eggs, and then another category is oats or grains together. And then I have homemade breads, which We have a lot of our amazing homemade breads in our cookbook, so you have to check that out. Homemade cereal, because start reading the labels at the grocery store, you guys. The cereal at the store is full of garbage, most of it. I mean, or you're spending tons of money for healthy cereal. It's crazy. And I mean, start looking for those bioengineered ingredients. Okay, so I have eggs, grains and oats, breads, cereal, and then gourmet, we like to call it. And that's all the fun, delicious ideas like coffee cake and apple crepe cake, and we have videos on all of this. So that's my breakfast. Then moving on to lunch. I've created categories for lunch. Is lunch hard for anybody else? Give me a comment below. Other than leftovers, in the summer it's easy to do smoothies and salads, but sometimes it's hard during the winter. So I'm always trying to brainstorm ideas. So for my lunch menu, even in the winter, we do smoothies as a category. Sandwiches, salads, leftovers are an absolute standalone category. And then something I like to call other faves, other favorite things that we have. And those are more the fun homemade things like homemade pretzels, that kind of thing. All right, so those are our lunches. And again, you can print these, you can see them yourself. Just go give us your email below and you can get all this, access to all of this. So then we're on to dinners. All right, so we have chicken recipes, pasta recipes, beef recipes, lamb recipes. Now listen, I'll stop you right there. Some of you are gonna be like, well, I never eat lamb. That's fine. When you're creating your own, put pork in there if you want, or whatever, fish. If you guys are big fish eaters, make that its own category. If you know that you're gonna have at least 2 or 3 meals to pick from to put into your category. And then last but not least, a veggie category. And underneath that veggie category, it will be things like stir fry, homemade ramen, homemade burrito bowls, homemade pizza, because we don't necessarily put meat on our pizza, veggie noodle soup, all those fun things, those great ideas. So you first start, it's gonna take you a little bit of time, but honestly, if you just use my templates, you will probably be able to create your meal plan in a few short hours, and then your year is taken care of. And all you have to do is have that stuff, in your pantry, at the grocery store, have it in your cart and be ready to prep your meals. Okay, so once you have sat down and you've created, some of your idea brainstorming lists, like your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and look at mine and then come up with some creative ideas from there. But these are all things that we eat consistently, like all the time. So I have them on there. And I love, you can even create a category or, a separate title for like new recipes, and we do that. I don't necessarily put it on here, I'll get to that in a minute, but you can come up with the idea to make something new every month. One night a month you're gonna try a new recipe and see if it's like good, thumbs up from the family, or a thumbs down. So once you have created your different ideas, we're gonna move on to what I am calling the basic weekly meal plan, which is step 2. So now I have the general idea of how many meals that I have. And if you're like me, you're gonna be surprised that I was able to fill up every single line on my little shopping list or my little checklist when it came to these different categories. We have a lot of different meals that we make, and I'll tell you right now, none of these are pre-bought meals from the grocery store. And I'm just telling you that to encourage you, because there are amazing ideas out there that are not hard. They can be simple, they can be easy, they can be made with products and ingredients that you have in your pantry right now. If you know us at all, you know we're a little bit of stockpilers, but I just like being prepared and having things stocked in the pantry that are good, healthy, organic ingredients that are there and ready for us to bake. Like if the grocery store doesn't have bread available, it's no big deal because we can make it at home, and that's a great feeling. So once I've created my list with my different meal plans, and again, you can use mine if you want, and then that's easy and it's done for you. And we also have a lot of videos already on the Heartway Farms channel here with a lot of these recipes to make it super simple for you. But now we're gonna move on to the basic weekly meal plan. So on this one, I have Monday through Sunday, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And now what I've done is I've taken my different categories that I created. Like I told you, one of my categories for breakfast is egg dish, like an egg dish, such as scrambled eggs. It can be as simple as you want. An omelet, it can be a quiche, whatever you want to do. So on Monday for breakfast, we are going to have an egg dish, and I don't have to specify which one. I'm building this so that it will make more sense later. You'll understand when we get there, but I'm building out how each week is gonna look. So on Monday, breakfast is an egg dish, lunch is a smoothie, dinner is a chicken dish. On Tuesday, for breakfast, we're gonna have either like oats, oatmeal, or some kind of grain. So whether it's wheat berries, that have been in the Instapot or whatever with maple syrup and butter, whatever. So Tuesday morning breakfast, oats and grains. Lunch is gonna be leftovers. I put leftovers on my weekly meal plan twice for lunch because I don't like food going bad, and I like making room in my fridge for the next week of meals. So I like to keep working through the leftover foods. So Tuesday, we've got that. Lunch is leftovers, and dinner's gonna be some kind of veggie dish. So on this weekly meal plan, you're gonna see all categories, no specifics. So then Wednesday, homemade breads for breakfast. That could be like banana bread with fresh fruit. And then lunch is sandwiches. Dinner is gonna be a beef dish. Thursday, homemade cereal for breakfast. Leftovers for lunch. A pasta dish for dinner. Friday, an egg dish for breakfast, other faves for lunch, and then homemade pizza for dinner, and on and on. There's gonna be, I have a specific item, a category in each meal each day. So a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna use this. And again, you can create your own. Let's say your family absolutely will not eat smoothies, but you absolutely love sandwiches. Then maybe you should put sandwiches on every day for lunch, I'm just trying to keep kind of some balance in what everybody's eating, when they're eating it, how often they're eating it. I don't really want to treat breakfast every single day, right? We got to have some healthy options with good protein, good fruit and veg, and all of that. So I tried to break it up a little bit. You can look at my example, and then you can have the blank copy of this if you choose to, and put in your own categories to make it simple. But now I'm going to use this to carry me into step 3, which is creating my monthly meal plan. So once I have my categories listed for each day, this is how I build out every single week. So when I'm going to my monthly meal plan here, every Monday, if you go back to here, every Monday is gonna have an egg dish for breakfast, a smoothie for lunch, and a chicken dish for dinner. And when I'm deciding what that smoothie is, or I'm deciding what that chicken dish is, that's when I refer back to my idea chart, to my list here of my dinner ideas, my breakfast ideas, all of that, and I can just pick it and write it down, and then it's done and I don't have to think about it. So here on my monthly meal plan, you can see that every Monday of the month is going to be an egg dish. So like I have on the first Monday of the month, we're gonna do omelets for breakfast. Then the second Monday of the month, we're gonna do quiche for breakfast. The third Monday of the month, we're gonna do egg casserole. The fourth Monday of the month, we're gonna do scrambled eggs. And listen, if you are busy and you're like, no way am I gonna have time to make an omelet, or no way am I gonna have time to make quiche every Monday or whatever, then simplify. Just do fried eggs and fruit, whatever works for your schedule. I like this because it pushes me to be like, okay, I'm not gonna just do something packaged that's easy. I'm gonna, plan ahead, and I'm gonna make my crust ahead of time and throw together a quiche, which in the grand scheme of things, when you plan ahead, it goes very quickly. Then you continue to build it out. So I am using my weekly meal plan alongside to create and build my monthly meal plan. So every Tuesday for breakfast, we're gonna do a grain or oats. Every Tuesday for lunch, we're gonna eat leftovers and make sure we're cleaning out that fridge and not letting anything go to waste. Every Tuesday at dinner, we're gonna do a veggie dish. And so you've created this little chart to follow so that you can begin to plan your month-long meal plan. And you guys can look at this. You can see how it's simple, it's easy, it's affordable, and let's say you're having a month on a really tight budget. All of us have been there, all of us have done that. Then you can come up with, from your ideas, from your lists of different meal ideas, you can pick out those ones that are much more affordable. Like maybe you're not gonna put steak on the meal plan for this month because you want to save a little bit of money, but you can still make healthy, good choices as you're building out a good meal plan for your family. So let's talk through one more example. So when I'm looking at my categories here for my weekly meal plan, I have Saturday showing that that's when we get to have a treat breakfast. So on here, you'll notice all of my Saturdays have delicious, fun treat breakfasts. Usually life is a little bit slower on a Saturday, so I have time to make that, but things like coffee cake, peach cobbler, apple crepe cake, cream puffs, If you haven't tried Julienne's cream puffs, you have got to try them. Check out the video, we'll link it below. That's how you break it down. And then like Sundays in the morning, I wanna make sure that, you know, we've got a nice easy breakfast to grab and go since it's a church day. And like Julienne's homemade sourdough bagels, that's a homemade bread. That's in my category for Sunday. So I just continue to build it out. And you do each of these steps and it suddenly takes off all of the pressure of coming up with ideas. If you automatically know that every Wednesday night for dinner, you need to just pick one of your beef dishes that's listed here, either beef stroganoff, beef chili, beef tacos, beef roast, burgers on the grill, steaks, oven burgers, which is a cheap, easy version of like, you know, cheeseburgers on the grill. Any of those things. If you take away the questioning, the guessing, what do you feel like? What do you want? What does everybody want? And you just use your little cheat sheet for your weekly meal plan, it really makes it so simple and so basic that anyone can do it. The last step, this is where the whole year of meal plans come into play. Here is 1 month of meals. Every breakfast, every lunch, every dinner planned. And I guarantee you, stuff comes up, so you're gonna have extra meals in here. But this is gonna be plenty of food for my family of 8, and that's for sure. But what I'm gonna do is I built this one out, so I'm gonna use this for 1 month. And then I can print another one, and I can start building it the same way. I can continue to follow this, which I probably will, because these are all things that we use all the time. And so on the next month, on the first Monday, instead of omelets, I'm gonna look back at my breakfast menu and look at my egg dishes, and we'll just do an easy egg scramble with maybe some cheese and ham or whatever we wanna do. So you just begin to mix it up if you want, or if you wanna keep it simple, like me, you can just repeat this. I think the only thing that repeats on here is homemade pizza, because all of us are totally cool 100% with eating pizza once a week, and we do, and it's homemade pizza and it's so good. And honestly, if you want the best homemade pizza crust ever, make sure you check out our Everyday Breads cookbook, because it's in there, so you can make it too. So you can make it simple and just have this and repeat it 12 times, 12 months, keep it up there, and you know that you're doing those things. Or you refer back, to your weekly meal plan, you refer back to those awesome ideas. And the beautiful thing about your idea sheet, if you keep these, we are always finding new recipes. So if you keep like your meal plan ideas, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner accessible, then you can write them in, at the bottom, or print another one and continue to add to that list as you begin to find new favorite recipes. Or you go to a potluck and you're like, we are adding that into our sandwich idea. We're adding that into our salad idea, right? And you can just make sure that you get that on that list. Then you can begin to incorporate that into your new monthly meal plan for the next month. And you can literally sit down and have this done, have your entire meal plan done probably in a couple hours if you want, for a whole year, because I can whip out one of these meal plans now that I've filled out all of the information in less than an hour for an entire month, and it's done. So you could get it all done for the whole year and check it off your list. And if something comes up, that's a beautiful thing about life, especially with a large family. Being flexible, going out to dinner with friends, or having a last-minute family dinner down at grandma or grandpa's house, those things can come up, and then it's beautiful because you can just take those ingredients that you had purchased for that meal and freeze them, save them, use them for another meal. So it's super simple, easy, basic, but it's just breaking it down so that it can be grasped, so that it's easy, it's repeatable. These are all really good things when it comes to meal planning, because it's something that has to happen every day. Everybody wants to eat every single day, every single meal, right? So I have to have a game plan. And if you don't enjoy it like I don't really enjoy it, it's nice to have tools like this to take that stress off of your mind, off of your to-do list, and off of your shoulders as a mom, as a homemaker, as the one who's in charge of that. Or if you're dad and you're the meal planner, then you are gonna like these too, right? Everyone can work together as a family to help build these lists too, if that would take off some of the stress. Ask the kids, what do you want to eat? What are you going to be happy eating, right, this month? So you can start building out your list. Now make sure, I know it's hard the way that we're doing this. It's hard for you to see, it's hard for you to see what I'm talking about necessarily, but these printables are beautiful. They're great tools that print really well. You're gonna wanna check them all out below and not miss out on any of these things. And I mean, I have tools like this that I discovered years ago when I had 1 kid, 2 kids, and I am still using those same tools to help implement some of my favorite ways to meal plan. So make sure you print them off, you check them out, you give me a comment below on some of your favorite meal ideas, and I'm telling you, you're not gonna wanna miss our simple, beautiful, easy recipes in our cookbooks that we have released. We're really excited about this. We've been working hard on this. Me and Marie and Julianne have been working hard to create beautiful cookbooks for all of you, and this is just the beginning. We have more to come. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss anything. If you want to learn how to make a lot of these products, we have videos on so many of these different meals that can be simple and easy for you to refer back to. So we hope that you enjoy this, implement these things, make meal planning simple again, right? And easy and not stressful. So we hope you guys have a blessed day, and we'll talk to y'all soon.